Okay, here's a project or assignment. Right. So, we have this Good Life Mart, which is a retailer. And then we want to, we're a retailer and we have been visited by the local tax collection body. So they're asking, please prepare your VAT reconciliation for the period ending 31st August 2025 using the 10 transactions above. The Malawi Revenue Authority requires the following in your return. 1. Total sales per VAT category. Number 2. VAT corrected on standard and reduced rate items. All right, so let's go up. They're saying standard rated. So for the standard rated, um, let me extract. Let me extract the words. I want the standard rated. If I say, okay, let me see. Okay, if I can type standard, standard, standard rated items, items. Let me do Control E. Okay, it doesn't work. Okay. Okay, standard rated. Then we have zero, zero rated. Then you have exempt items. Then you have reduced, reduced rate. But in Malawi, we don't have the reduced rate category. So I'm just doing this. I'm doing this for training purposes. Items. Okay. Items. Right. So what is the tax rate or VAT rate? For the standard, this is 16.5%. For the zero rated, it is 0%. For the exempt, that one, you leave it blank. For the reduced rate, we're told it's what? It's 5%. All right, so now we have these 10 transactions. So we have these zero rated items, these standard rated items, zero rated items, exempt items, and reduced rate items. So what we'll do is I'll put the category here, and then automatically here there'll be the what? The VAT, the VAT rate, and here it'll be the VAT amount, and here it'll be the total sales value, value to a customer. Okay, to a customer. So let me wrap that text. Right. So what I'll do is um on under this I'll do what we call data validation. So that I'll just select from what? From a drop down list. Okay, so let me put that down. And then let me put it somewhere here. Yeah, okay. So what I'll do is I need a drop down. So this drop down will only show these what? These VAT rate categories. Okay. So I'll go to data, then where is validation? I'll go to this drop down. They say create validation rules or create validation cycles. So I'll select data validation. So what it will ask me, it will say list. Then on my source here, I'll go to this one, this list. Okay. So, and I'll say, okay. And now what's the purpose of having the data validation? The data validation will help us to avoid typing errors. Okay. We have to make sure that only these things or these categories, these namings are what? Are here. So if you go to like this, you find that there's the that drop down. Okay, so if I want to remove the validation, I can go back, go to data, then create validation cycles. Oh, sorry, uh, just a minute. Okay, okay, clear all. Okay, so I've removed the what? The validation. So I want it again. I'll go to data, validation. Then I want a list. So it helps you in avoiding errors. Okay. So I'll select the list and press what? Okay. Then what I'll do is I'll copy. I'll copy all these what? These transactions. So on each transaction, under each transaction, if you see, there's what? There's a drop-down list up to transaction number number 10. All right. So on the VAT rate. So VAT rate would depend on what? On the item category we put here. Okay. So on the VAT rate, what I'll do is I'll do this function called the X lookup. So I'll say equals X lookup tab. So for the lookup value, it will be this one, comma. Um, lookup array where I want to look, it will be this range there, and then I have to make it absolute. I have to make it absolute. So I just go to F4 and also this one. I have to log it. Uh, F4 again. That's the lookup array, comma. Then I go to the return array. I'll select the range. Then I'll log it again. The F4. I'll log the range again. F4 and press enter. Okay. So I'm getting NA because we don't have any values in this one, in this cell. So I'll just copy down. So how I'll copy? Just put your cursor there and then shift down arrow up to transaction number 10. Then you do Control D. Okay. You find that it is also uh, it is relative, it is dynamic. Okay, it is changing. So look for the category item here, and the what? Uh, the lookup array and the return array are what? Are the same for all the what? For all the lines. Then the VAT amount. The VAT amount will be equals this, the rate, times the sales value. Okay. Then I'll select again and then go down, down, and then to what? Control D. Then I'll go to total sales value to a customer. So the total sales value will be VAT plus what? The sales value. Okay. Then I'll copy again down there and then do what? Control D. All right. So let's solve our problems now. Our problem now. So we're saying the shop sold electronics, which are TV sets. So you select here. What rate will this one be? So you look at electronics, it's the standard rate. So I'll select standard rated. Okay. You find that automatically there's VAT calculated there, right? And then maize flour. Where is maize flour? Maize flour is zero rated. So I'll select maize flour. Where the zero rated? I'll select zero rated like that. Okay. The rate of tax will be what? Will be zero. Okay. The shop exported groundnuts to Tanzania. So you said exported groundnuts. It's zero rated again. So you go zero rated. Okay. Let's go down. Then you health health consultation services. So educational books, health consultation services, they're exempt. So you select here where there is what? Exempt. Find that it's nothing, right? And then they sold educational textbooks. Education textbooks, they're also what? Exempt. So you go again here, you select exempt. They sold detergents. Where are the detergents? If you go up, you find that there are detergents here which are what? Zero standard rated. So I'll go to detergents, select standard rated. See, there is the full VAT rate. Then you see they sold children's medicine at a reduced rate. So it's a reduced rate, and then you go to the drop down, children's medicine. There's a reduced rate of 5%. So you select reduced rated items. Okay. Then um they sold soft drinks. Soft drinks, they are standard rated. So you go to soft drinks, select standard rated. Okay, automatically they are what? They are populating. Okay, we sold laptops to a government agency. So electronics, regardless of where you sell your items. Okay, if you sell to the public sector or the private sector, the VAT will still what? Still apply rather. So you select standard for electronics, and then you sold food hampers with both maize flour zero rated and soup standard rated. Okay, so here is tricky because we don't know the value of the zero, how much was zero rated and how much was uh was the soap, right? Okay. Okay. So here we just leave it like that. Um, let's ignore this one because they have not given. We know that the total sales value is 1 million, but out of this 1 million, how much is zero rated? How much is standard rated? So that is the question we ask ourselves. So let's assume. I'll just assume. Let's assume that the standard rate, the standard the value is, let's say, 600,000. Okay. So I'll just remove food. I'll just I'll just assume that we're dealing with the soap standard. So for the soap standard, let's select what? Standard rated items. All right. So having done that, that's having done our as calculations like that, you find that let's do a sum. Just go to the uh, auto sum and then select that one. Okay, Control R and move that. Okay, like that. So here we have the total sales value, the value we have together with the value the shop created. Okay, together with the value the shop created. Out of this, the VAT which was charged, the sales tax which was charged, was 1.2 million, and then the total sales value. This is the value that the customer will pay, right? So it's the VAT plus the sales value, right? So let's go back to our question. Um, they're saying, please prepare your VAT reconciliation for the period ending 31st August 2025 using the 10 transactions above. The Malawi Revenue Authority requires the following return: total sales per VAT category. Okay, so total sales per VAT category. So what are we saying? For each of these categories, okay, let's go to total sales. Okay, so we want to know what is the total sales for standard, what is the total sales for zero rated, what is the total sales for exempt, what is the total sale for reduced. So this one will be simple. We'll use the sum if function. So I'll just say equals sum if. Okay. So what is the range? Okay. So this is where we want to do our what? Our summation. This is our range. Okay. Our lock, I'll lock them by doing F4, 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 enter, right? So VAT corrected on the standard rate is that one. So I'll copy down the formula, Control D, then uh, Control R to add. So that's the VAT. So if you want to check, this VAT equals the VAT down there. So this one, it is true. So that's the total VAT corrected. And then they say standard rated and reduced rated. Okay. So what is the VAT? The output VAT collected on standard and the reduced rates. So it's only the standard and the reduced rates which have what? Have VAT. So it's this answer here. The 1.2, 1.2, 1.2 million. Or you just simply add the VAT for standard plus the VAT for what? For reduced rate. Alternatively, alternatively, you can use the sum if s function, which is sum if s tab, then the sum range is this one. This is where I want to get our result. Okay, comma. Then I have to fix the range by doing F4. Again here F4, comma. Next is the criteria range. Okay, so the criteria range would be what? Would be this one. That's the criteria range number one. I do F4, F4, comma. What will be the first criteria? It will be what? Standard rated, comma. Then criteria range number two, it will be the same range, comma. I'll fix it by doing F4. And here again, F4, comma. Next is what? Criteria two. I'll select a reduced rate. Enter. Okay. So, but now, what was the problem? Okay, let me do. Okay, okay, all right, okay. I think it is confusing. I'll do it. I'll do it later. Yeah. For now, let's stop there. Okay. So let's stop there. Let me not confuse you with these functions. Right. Thank you.